Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again we are on the discourse, personality, and competency. The milestone we reached last time was total personal intelligence. In that, we made a statement: if you are aware of your weaknesses, it is as good as your strength, and if you are aware of your strengths, if you're not aware of your strengths, it is as good as your weakness. So maybe continue from there. It brings me to discuss an idea about or idea of why we at all had a phase that is represented by 9 features. And I had already told that this is 3 by 3 matrix. Maybe we have a 4 by 4 matrix. We don't know. We might be more accommodative of more possibilities and therefore increase the number of traits. It's possible. So this 3 and 3 makes 9 features of a phase, and that's number 9 or 10 or 15 is like a starting point of a competency. That's my trade secret. It's a starting point of competency. The congregation of certain number of traits creates a competency. But it is not directly, if each phase is not directly a competency, because while we are putting the phase, we are trying to distinguish each of the contents of that phase. Meaning, if a certain color A1 appears in phase 3, it will not appear in phase 4. So for a time being, we are going to look at these A1, A2's colors as unique in the respect of their belonging to a phase, which is not true at all. This is not true at all. It is not going to happen like that. It's simple. If you put a salt in one of your recipes, it doesn't mean another recipe you cannot have salt. You have to put only sugar. It doesn't happen like that. We make several recipes. So over a period of time, we will discover that competencies are made out of recipes of certain ingredients, and these ingredients is what my job is to bring in focus today. What are those ingredients? So again, we'll use a simple simulation. A kitchen, we have salt, sugar, pepper, okay, and then a chili powder, chili flakes, okay, green chilies, several vegetables cut to different sizes, and several ways of making that gravy, okay. Then we have tomatoes, which is for bodybuilding of the gravy. We have corn powder for bodybuilding of the gravy. So many ingredients are there. Out of these ingredients, we cook few specialized recipes. Although when you're using the cube, I maintain once we use a certain ingredient, we'll not use it again somewhere else. This is simplified version. Otherwise, it will become too complex at too early a stage. We'll not be able to handle that kind of a problem. At least now we are in a position to have a clearer look at the problem. Solution will come much, much later. So the number of ingredients that go into making a certain recipe and the variance of that is what we are concerned with, because we now look at our performance as creation of a recipe. Right now we look at an exclusive recipe, a recipe which is made by certain ingredients, and those ingredients are not used anywhere else. A recipe that is made by certain ingredients and those ingredients are not used anywhere else. Hypothetical. Yet suits our level of problem solving. Currently, we are at a certain level of problem solving, and that suits us. I'm repeating this over and over again for the simple reason that please don't jump to conclusions. Jumping to conclusion is jumping to conclusion. It could be pretty self destructive. You're paying the cost for that conclusion that you make prematurely. If you go to a mother of a 5-year old child and you ask her to describe her child, what are the terms that she will use? What are the terms she will use? We are not currently worried about the authenticity of that. For us, for a time being, all it means is our love for the child, our expectations about the child, our dreams of the child. So, howsoever unfactful, unfaithful that data is, still it is very useful because we are moving on a channel of research. You're moving on a channel of research. We don't have a theory as yet to announce because we are not in a typical training program with limited perspectives and limited objectives. We are in discourses. The media is totally different, the product is totally different. And you have been with me because it is a discourse. I'm reminding you your own faith in the program. You are with me because we are doing a discourse on personality. So the mother talks her love, with aspirations, dreams, expectations by saying, my child is very intelligent. My child is very innocent. It is as good as saying my child is a child. He is very innocent. And nobody says my child is very knowledgeable. He doesn't, she will not say this. Nobody will say my child is a leader at home. No. But people will just say my child is indisciplined. I don't remember my mother saying this to me. But I think that was one of the reasons I was a very obedient child. Because she never cursed her fate. I am not disciplined. Man is a product of circumstances, isn't it? But typically the mother loves to say, my child is indisciplined. She loves to say he's very inquisitive. He takes tool in his hands. He tries to push the buttons, tries to see its effect. He tries to these days hold a mobile. He knows everything. He knows where Papa's photographs are. He knows what Papa's number is. He's just 4 or 5-year-old child. So generally, mothers love to talk about their children as being inquisitive. Some mothers do complain, my child is unorganized. He tends to fall. She or he has a flat foot, tends to fall. Some mothers do say he doesn't mix with people. Some mothers of the girl child love to say, my daughter is shy. Some mothers do like to say that my child is very confident. He or she, that little child, rules the world of parents and homes and grandmothers and grandparents. And unfortunately, this number rarely grows over 5. 5 looks like the most satisfying figure of expression of the mother about the child. Father You change the perspective, change the camera from mother to father. Father might say, well, I think he's a bit analytical. I think he is quite social compared to what me and my wife is. It's quite social. I feel my child is bold. Maybe four or five more, he will add. Father being father, you look at the child from different angle. Mother being mother, we look at the child from different angle. So more or less in each of the dictionaries, either of the dictionaries of the mother and the father probably have four or five notations. Sorry, four or five notifications. And they've spent huge number of hours and days with the child. They've seen the child growing from the birth to 5 year old. These days, the family doesn't go out so much because child is a very big entertainer. It's a big occupation. They can't go to cinema because carrying the child inside is a problem. They can't go to many social functions because the child is not comfortable in a crowd, and so on and so forth. And numbers are about five. That's a tragedy of how poor we are in terms of our resource value in assessing people. And then you are the father and the mother, and you are the ultimate. You're the school of thought, so to say. Mother is the first school of an individual. That is what I learned in my childhood. So, five, come off it. Number five, five assessments of the child. Five assessments of the child. Five only. Five only. Do you reckon with this pretty small number, do you reckon you are institutionalized? There's somebody who teaches arithmetic well. Does it become an institution? Generally, a good institution has several experts. Does it make an institution? We have five numbers. Maybe in a larger and greater parenting, where you have the grandmas and grandfathers coming in to assessing a child, probably that number would go to 8, 9, 10. 10 is a dream figure. In 25 years plus practice of practicing a personality clinic, where we handle a lot of issues related to parent and child relationship, and being a chief mentor in a school, I haven't come across parents who are concerned or who are aware of more than five things in a child. And now we're looking at one face and 9 colors. So, what are these colors? These colors are our capsule understanding about a type of behavior, a type of being. Behavior is slightly crude element, a crude expression. Our being. The 10 are the type of our beings. The 9 are type of our beings. And we are looking at 9 into 6, 54 minimum. And we make a matrix larger than that, we'll have probably close to 100. With the same logic that one ingredient used here is not used again. That's the complexity of the problem. We are discussing a very close, very intimate, very made for each other relationship, like a father and a child and a mother and a child, especially the mother and the child. Very well hooked to the child. With that intimacy, we have 5 number, and pretty difficult number to talk about, to work with. And the question is, do you reckon you're going to be an institution? Based on these five ideas of life, we are far from away from competition, from being competitive, for being mentors, for being social parents, for being social parents. All you ended up doing so far was a bio-parenting. Bio-parenting. Social parenting? I'm afraid not. We're too close. We have too closeted view of the world, and we will only make a build a compromise child. More of this as we follow the next episode. Thank you very much for being with us. I enjoyed being here. Thank you.